What's in a name? Hey, it's Care. Welcome to My Take at the Lake. I was watching Candy Cane Creates do her What's in a Name video because she started off talking about her name, her first name, Candace. I thought it was about your name, not your channel name, but I've since watched several others in this hashtag that is hosted by Paper Confessions with Karamia and BB's Closet Creations. I'll put links to them below. And then Candace tagged me in this video game of tag. And so here we are. Which, if you were paying attention in a recent video, I mentioned something about that. Like, I was talking about Camellia Craft's design. Her name is Julie. Who's Camellia? I'd love to know. And there are other ones that I don't understand the name of their channel. In fact, I just had a conversation with one of the people I'm going to tag so that she can explain it to you because it's a beautiful story. So I've since learned that it's not your first name, but I already had that planned, so that'll be at the end. It is your channel name. So stick around because I'm going to tweak this tag just a little bit for the people that I'm going to tag. It'll all make sense down the road. And since we need something to look at whilst we do this, I have this thrifted scrapbook. I think it's thrifted because it doesn't close beautifully all the time, but I'm making a grungy old something that you'd find in the woods in a dark fairy tale, perhaps. Something or other. And so that it doesn't work right, works beautifully into my theme. So while I tell the stories about the name game that we're talking about today, I'm just going to start grunging up these pristine white pages because it needs to be dirty. Dirty. So I may have to stop and talk to myself in between as I think this through. So what's in a name? My name, my channel name, My Take at the Lake, is right in my community tab. It's the first thing I think in the about section. It says, always happy to give my take and always happy to be at the lake. That's where it came from. But why that? Why did I go that way? The lake has always inspired me. And back in the days that I was born, we stayed in the hospital for a few days. And I was born at the end of June, so it was very, very hot. Mom and I got out of the hospital, and we left the hospital and went directly to the lake. And I spent the first week of my life with my family at the lake. It's just always been part of my life. It's incredibly inspiring to me. And somehow or another, everything I do revolves around my dogs in the lake. Somehow or another, it's all about that. So that's the short story about My Take at the Lake. I have toyed, though, with the idea of changing my name from My Take at the Lake, my channel name, to the Crabby Crafter, because that is who I am. I am the Crabby Crafter. Absolutely. I kvetch a lot. I edit a lot of it out, which makes a lot of work for me, but it seems to me if I left it in, I could spend less time editing and more time crafting. And I could really be myself because I'm kind of cranky in a loving sort of way, like a Sherlock Holmes logical kind of way. At least that's how I hope it comes off. Crabby in a let's learn from this kind of way. I don't know. But I toyed with it and then I thought, I'll just leave it. And then when the YouTube handles came by, which are supposed to stop the hijacking of channels, and I noticed that it happens a lot to people when they have giveaways, specifically, not all the time. I noticed it happening to another channel that didn't give anything away, and it happened there that they just sort of take over your name and whatnot, and the YouTube handles were supposed to put the kibosh to that, but they really didn't stop anything. So I just made my handle the Crabby Crafter. And that way you know it's me. But not all channels are that sort of self-explanatory. One of the channels that I am going to tag is called, I think it's Doki, D-O-K-I Forest. I'll let her explain it to you. She has a beautiful story about what that means. I'd never heard D-O-K-I, D-O-K-I before. See, when I went to look for her channel, there's quite a bit with that D-O-K-I, D-O-K-I in there. That surprised me. You know, I read. I get out once in a while. Never saw it before her. Never heard it before her. So that's interesting. And there are the people that I'm going to tag, I genuinely want to know about their name. Now, one of the other people that I'm going to tag is Carrie's Mixed Media Arts. Now, I know why she named it that. Her name is Carrie, and she does mixed media art. I mean, but since we're both named Carrie, here's where I'm tweaking the tag. If you have a self-explanatory channel name like Carrie's Mixed Media Art, then, and you've been tagged, I'd love to know, since we're both named Carrie, I know where mine comes from. I'll tell you that at the end. Who is she named after? Does hers have some sort of, mine happens to be Gaelic of Irish descent, and is her Carrie Irish as well? You know, stuff like that. So if you happen to be tagged in this, you know, feel free to use your real name as to why you are named as you are. So my name is Carrie, Kerrie, and Carrie at Mixed Media Arts and we're just having this conversation, as well as Janet Nash, because, and I love them dearly. This is not the Crabby Crafter. I just think this was a UK thing. They both, because I go by Care here at my take at the lake, I spell it K-E-R. And for some reason, both Carrie and Janet, both in the UK, call me Kerr. To me, that is C-U-R, Kerr. And I told them both, no, it's Care, like C-A-R-E, not C-U-R. Oh, I get it. Yeah, I like that way better. That makes much more sense. And I told Carrie that it's odd that I'm saying that, because my whole life I've corrected people, because they would say things like, are you going to carry my books for me, Carrie? Are you going to carry a tune for us, Carrie? And I'd say, my name is not Carrie, it's Carrie. The difference between getting married and being Mary, it's different. Very subtle, but it's different. So get it right. And then I'm telling my lady friends, it's Care, like C-A-R-E, which is way better than Kerr. I'll take Care, which is really what I say. Hey, it's Care. When YouTube does its brilliant closed captioning, it always says, hey, it's Scare, S-C-A-R-E, which works too. That's fine. So my name is Gaelic. The spelling of it is Gaelic Irish. The day before I was to embark on a flight to Ireland to study for a semester in grad school. I had always wanted to go to Ireland, and this was a dream come true, and I finally got to do it. We were at a family reunion. Literally the day before, I spent with my whole family at a family reunion downstate, and then I flew out early the next morning to Ireland. I learned that both of my great-grandmothers on my father's side came directly from Ireland on the boat. Not great-grandmother, great-grandmothers came directly on the boat. So that's kind of cool. And my mom was going to call me Brandy. When she was pregnant, she thought if she had a girl, she wanted to name it Brandy. And way back when I was born, they never knew whether it was a boy or a girl. And so the whole time she was pregnant, she called me Charlie. Now, growing up, as many kids do, I think, I did not like my name at all. And when I was a kid, Charlie Perfume was a big deal. And I'm a tomboy from Jump Street, but kind of a girly tomboy. I played kickball with the boys. I was tomboy rather than a girly girl, but kind of a girly tomboy. If that makes any sense. Of course it does. People have attached brain stems. They get what you're saying. It makes perfect sense. Anyway, I thought, what a cool name for a girl. Charlie. And so I swore when I turned 18, I was going to change my name to Charlie. Because my mom called me that all the time she was pregnant, blah, blah, blah. I've learned eventually that I was named after both of my grandmothers. My dad's mom and my mom's mom are both named Geraldine. And they both went by Jerry, J-E-R-R-Y and J-E-R-R-I-E. And at the last minute, Mom decided to name me after my grandmothers, but decided that there were enough Geraldines in the family that Carrie would do nicely. And I love being named after my grandmothers. I love not being a Geraldine. No offense to Geraldines. It's just my grandma's name. That's a grandmother-y name in my mind. So I did not obviously change my name when I turned 18. I ended up quite liking, and then when I was in Ireland, learned the history of my name, and I was staying in County Kerry, which was kind of cool. You know, just things all come together eventually and make sense. So that is the story of my channel name, the story of the possibility or the secondary name of the Crabby Crafter, and the story of my name. I was tagged by Candy Cane Creates. I will link her channel below and her video below. Again, this hashtag is hosted by Paper Confessions with Karamia and BB's Closet Creations. Give their channel a check out and watch their videos. I watched several of the videos in the hashtag and learned a lot. There's one called, one that Candace tagged was called Picky Pulp. And I hadn't heard of that channel before, but what a great story about why she came up with the name Picky Pulp. It's a great story. Go watch that one. I'll link that one below, even though that's not my tag, that's Candy's tag, but it's very interesting. Again, there's this one, What's in a Name? There's Melody Makes 5 pictures in 5 minutes on Fridays this year. There's that we just share pictures of whatever. And Flip Through Fridays, if you go back to the original of that, it can be a flip through of a photo album, a flip through of a journal you've done, a flip through of a current project. It doesn't have to be just a finished project flip through. But all of those things help us get to know each other as people, as humans, not crafting hands, and I think that's important. I started my own. I don't think the video has gone live yet. I think that's scheduled for the end of the month because of the other 2 projects that I'm launching or attempting to launch. Ran into some nasty business that took a week out of my life, and so everything again is put on pause and on hold, and I'm backed up at least a week, but it's over and done with now, so I can move on. But because of that, I'm kind of scheduling things way out. I am starting a hashtag of my own, and I don't want to give anything away, and I don't want to compete with this one right now, but it's just one more way that we can get to know each other a little bit more in depth. So the 5 people that I'm tagging in this game are Carrie's Mixed Media Art. Obviously, I think I know, Carrie, correct me if I'm wrong, I think I know why you named your channel Carrie's Mixed Media Art. But where does your Carrie come from? And the spelling of it, is it Irish too? Is it a family name? Is it short for something? In fact, I think she told me it was short for something, but I'm not going to give that away either. Doki Doki Forest, because that's a great story, and I can't be the only one who's never heard of Doki Doki. I kept thinking, God love Janet, I kept thinking Janet was saying it wrong. I thought it should be Okie Dokie Forest. And so every time Janet said Doki Doki, I thought, oh, aren't you cute? But it was me. It was me that was jacked up the whole time. Yeah, that's fun, being the only one in the room who doesn't get the joke. But eventually it comes around. I get it. Eventually we get it. So I'm tagging Janet Nash. Again, her name is Janet Nash. Her channel is Janet Nash. At least I think her name is Janet Nash. Is Janet a family name? Is it short for something? Are you named after an ancestor? So if you don't want to do your channel's name, do your real name, because that matters too. So I got Carrie, Janet, Doki Doki, and Julie at Camellia Crafts Design. Who's Camellia? Julie? I love that. I've been dying to ask that question. And Know It Art. I'd love to hear her pronounce her name. I think I'm saying it right. I'd love to know what it means or where it comes from, or I'd love to know more about Know It Art. I think her name is Know It. Maybe I'm way off and her name's not Know It. It's just the name of her channel. So, genuine curiosity with these tags. Thank you for watching. Thanks for playing along. Candy Cane Creates, thanks for including me in the reindeer games. I hope that you go and watch some of these tags. They should be just short little goodies, not too terribly long, not terribly mentally taxing. You know, just a way to get to know your fellow crafters a little bit further. Do you know about your name? That was one of my favorite assignments to give to students, because so many people have never really done any research into their name, why their parents chose it, what the spelling means, what's the history of it, what is the origin of it, where did it come from. Oh my gosh, you can learn so much. I'd make students do super easy papers, research papers light on their own name. They thought they knew, but holy smokes, did they learn a lot. So even if you're not tagged in this, I don't know if this is kosher or not, but play along, throw up a video, let us know. Put it in the comments in our videos. I'd love to hear your story. If you don't have a channel name, tell me about your name. What do you know about it? Did you always like it? Did you want to change it? Let's start a conversation, shall we? In the meantime, go love up your beastlies. Mate at the lake. Out for now.